Newsfirst at 9. Headlines.
Good evening and welcome to News at 9, come to you live from the Newsfirst Centre in Colombo. I'm Florine Rajendran and these are your headlines. International Workers' Day marked today. 17 rallies and 15 processions in Colombo. The 21st death anniversary of late President Ranasinghe Premadasa marked today.
රටේ ජනතාව අපිව විශ්වාස කරනවා නම් අපිට ඕනම වෙලාවක ඕනම මැතිවරණයක් ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්නට අපිට හැකියාව තිබෙනවා.
Labour room training issue continues to disrupt activities at the Kurunegala and Kaluthura hospitals. Landslide warning issued to several districts, still in effect. Explosions on Indian train in Chennai kill female passenger. Let's now cross over to the main news desk for these stories and much more.
Thank you very much, Florine. A very good evening to you. Welcome to Primetime News. I'm Shahin Jirangpati.
A very good evening. I'm Mahina Bongzo. We start off with a look at stories making headlines here at home. The May Day rally of the United People's Freedom Alliance took place today under the auspices of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The rally was held under the theme Protect the Motherland, Protect Freedom.
The UPFA's May Day procession commenced under the auspices of the President near the Nelumpokuna Mahinda Rajapaksa Theatre on Greenpath Avenue this afternoon. Senior members of the alliance were among those who participated in the procession. The head of state joined the procession at the Colombo Municipal Council. Several other processions joined the main procession, which proceeded to Campbell Park via Kannangaramawata, the Eye Hospital Junction, Deans Road, Maradana Junction, Punchiburalla and Baseline Road. Groups joined the main procession at several locations along the route. The May Day rally was held at Campbell Park.
The people of this country come to me and say, please do not be suppressed by unwarranted influencers. This is what I am saying. We will not bow to anyone, neither will we make anyone bow. At the same time, we must clearly state that we are not prepared to demolish the building we are constructing. Because the opposition does not criticize us and walks around slinging mud at us, it turns out the best opposition too is within our party. The greatest opposition against the government is also on our side. The opposition should be the best critic, isn't it so? We do not want people who say yes to everything. We are in a government with a two-thirds majority. At a time when the opportunity arises to provide guidance to the government, the ministers who function as the opposition do not falter. We are proud of this. This is why the working classes say that our party is able to resolve every problem by convening the trade unions and holding discussions with them.
අපිට ආත්ම ශක්තියක් තියෙනවායි කියන එක අපි තමුන්නාන්සලාට මතක් කරන්න ඕන. වැඩ කරන පන්තියේ ජනතාවගේ අයිතිවාසිකම් සුරක්ෂිත කළේ
I must clearly state that it was the leftist progressive government led by the Sri Lanka Freedom Party that provided rights, benefits and everything else to the working people. Those in the opposition speak as if they are the people who have received the Upasampadava. But the people of the country have not forgotten their political ideologies and how everyone in the opposition today, led by the United National Party, treated the working class when they were in government and how they shot at workers in the workplace.
මේ සියල්ල මේ රටේ ජනතාවට අමතක වෙලා නැහැ.
Today marks the 21st death anniversary of late President Ranasinghe Premadasa. The main memorial event was held at the premises of the statue of the late President in Hulstorf, Colombo. A gathering including religious leaders, members of the Premadasa family, politicians and party supporters graced the memorial event held today. The memorial event commenced with religious observances conducted by the Anunaik of the Malwata chapter of the Siam sect, Venerable Niyangoda Vijitasiri Thera. Following the guard of honor by the three armed forces, the statue of late President Ranasinghe Premadasa was garlanded and floral tributes were paid.
රණසිංහ ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමන් ජීවතුන් අතර සිටියදී එතුමන්ගේ දෑතින් කෙතරම් මල්දම් මල් මේ රටේ ගරුතර මහා සංඝරත්නය වෙනුවෙන් පූජා කරන්නට ඇද්ද? ත්‍රිවිධ රත්නය වෙනුවෙන් පූජා කරන්නට ඇද්ද?
එතුමාගේ සේවාව මේ රටෙහි
I must mention with the utmost respect that the service he rendered was akin to a light that spread over all sections, including religion, community, society, culture and education.
ඕකයක් වුණ බව ගෞරවපූර්වකව සඳහන් කරන්නට ඕනේ.
His departure from among us was a great loss to all Sri Lanka, irrespective of class, caste, ethnicity, religion or political affiliation.
This country is empty of national leaders today. This shortcoming is evident no matter where you look. Every day we think to ourselves, what if Premadasa had lived a little longer? There is no power in Parliament. The appointments of the Chief Justice and other judges and the Attorney General's department is all under the President. Therefore, we cannot think of justice through the law. The nation we are living in is lawless. If politicization is eradicated from this country, the people will receive justice, the people will receive democracy.
මෙරටේ ජනතාවට ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී ලැබෙයි.
එතුමා ළඟ සැබෑ දේශප්‍රේම.
He was a true patriot. Ranasinghe Premadasa was not a false patriot who had to campaign by pitting communities and religions against each other and creating conflict between religions. He had the capability of identifying what he must do for the motherland and what he must do in politics and keeping it separate. He never complained to foreign nations and gave evidence to foreign organizations and attempt to create conflict in the country. My friends, we do not need the assistance of foreign nations to win elections in our country. We do not need the consultation and advice of foreign organizations. If we have the backbone, if we have the ability, if we have a vision the people accept, if the people have faith that we will implement that vision, then we can win any election at any time.
ඕනම වෙලාවක ඕනම මැතිවරණයක් ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්නට අපිට හැකියාව තිබෙනවා.
88-89 දශකයේ
In 88 and 89, Premadasa was entrusted a country where fires were burning on both sides. Premadasa thought of the country and took a practical decision. The decision that he took prevented a war from breaking out once again in the south. He decided that the country must come first and the people second and then the party.
The May Day rally of the Democratic Party took place this evening at the Buddhadasa grounds in Battaramulla. The rally took place under the auspices of party leader Sarath Fonseca.
The May Day procession of the Democratic Party commenced at 2:30 this afternoon from Rajagiriya. A large group including leader of the party Sarath Fonseca, deputy leader Jayantha Ketagoda, treasurer Anuma Fonseca and the group leader of the Western Provincial Council Susil Kindelpitia were present. The procession reached the Buddhadasa grounds in Battaramulla this evening.
Well, we will have the views expressed by the leader of the Democratic Party, Sarath Fonseca, later on in the bulletin. But in the meantime, here's a look back at the life and times of late President Ranasinghe Premadasa.
Ranasinghe Premadasa, who was born on the 23rd of June 1924, was elected to Parliament in 1965, representing Central Colombo. He rendered a yeoman service to the people while serving as a minister, parliamentary leader, prime minister and also president. He was sworn in as the third president of Sri Lanka on the 2nd of January 1989. He was the second executive president in the country. He was the founder of the Gamudavu concept and was also recognized by the UN for his universal housing air concept. President Ranasinghe Premadasa died while attending a May Day rally on the 1st of May 1993. His legacy is still remembered after his death.
කරුණා කරලා මා එක්ක අමනාපයක් තියෙනවා නම් මගේ ශරීරයට වෙඩි තියලා මාගේ ජීවිතේ නැති කාට කමක් නැහැ. මම කුඩා කාලේ ඉඳන් ආරක්ෂා කරගත්ත මගේ චරිතය ඝාතනය කරන්න එපා කියලායි මම උදවියට කියන්නේ. සත්‍ය කවදා නමුත් එළිවෙයි.
The May Day celebrations of the United National Party took place today, centering the Ampara town.
The May Day march commenced from the grounds junction in Ampara under the auspices of the United Leadership Council of the UNP. The procession arrived at the Ampara clock tower where the May Day rally was held.
Now, the May Day march organized by the Janata Vimukti Peramuna commenced from the SDS Jayasinghe grounds in Dehiwala.
Leader of the JVP, MP Anurakumara Dissanayaka, former leader of the JVP and current International Affairs Secretary Somawansa Amarasinghe and many others took part in the march. The procession started out from the SDS Jayasinghe grounds and made its way along the Saranankara road and arrived at the Pamankara junction. A number of creative floats added colour to the procession. The march, which entered the high-level road, concluded at the BRC grounds in Colombo. The May Day rally of the JVP commenced thereafter. The labourer who does battle with the ground, carpets the roads and renders an immense service only receive a meagre 800 rupees. Come evening he drinks for 200 rupees to ease the weariness of his limbs and buys goods for 600 rupees for his home. What life is this? What peace of mind can this person have? What is the enjoyment of life? Do they have a life where they can sit together with their family at mealtime? They are unable to purchase a sarong when they need it. Their sarongs are patched. When they need a pair of slippers, they cannot purchase it. They hold their slippers together with nails.
Now, meanwhile, several other political parties held their May Day rallies across the island today. The Democratic People's Front held its May Day rally in Cartagena. The Ceylon Workers' Congress commemorated May Day in the Bandaravela town today. SSP Buddhiga Siriwardana was injured and hospitalized after a flagstaff fell on his head during the May Day rally.
Today we have been able to secure the respect of all the people in the country. We have been able to do this because we united and worked together as brothers. We will not allow anyone to belittle and undermine this fraternity. I must mention at this occasion today that we will be responsible for preserving this fraternity for today, tomorrow and the days to come.
The main stage of this May Day rally had been erected on the Colombo-Badula road, disrupting the flow of traffic. The Frontline Socialist Party commemorated May Day at the Navagampura Sports Ground in Grand Pass today. The Socialist Alliance commemorated May Day today in Nogegoda. The Socialist Alliance's procession commenced at the Kirulapana Urban Council grounds.
Let's now take a look at some of the views expressed by Democratic Party leader Sarath Fonseca at the party's May Day rally held at the Buddhadasa grounds in Palawatha.
The type of politics we have in the country today is the politics of bribery. Through the Democratic Party, we will bring you the democracy, freedom of expression, right to assembly, press freedom and all other rights that you have been deprived of. Through this new political culture, we will eradicate corruption, vice and oppression and save the country.
The May Day procession organised by the Joint Trade Union Alliance was disrupted by the police today. The Colombo Fort Magistrate had earlier issued an order preventing representatives of the Trade Union Alliance from marching to Hyde Park in Colombo.
The Joint Trade Union Alliance commenced their May Day procession today near the Colombo Fort railway station. Members of numerous trade unions led by the Lanka Bank Employees Union, the Health Services Trade Union Alliance, the Ceylon Teachers Union, the Government Nursing Officers Association and the Government Printers Union gathered for the procession. The procession was to travel from the Colombo Fort railway station to Hyde Park, Colombo. While the procession made its way via the Lake House roundabout, the police had barricaded the road in Slave Island. Permission had only been granted for a May Day rally of the Lanka Bank Employees Union, of which A.K. Bandara is the president. The Colombo Fort Magistrate had issued an order yesterday preventing representatives of the Joint Trade Union Alliance from marching to Hyde Park, Darley Road, Union Place and Vauxhall Street in Colombo. Accordingly, the police prevented the procession from making its way to Hyde Park. Riot police units and water cannons had also been positioned in the area as security measures. The police informed the organizers to refrain from moving forward as per the court order and requested that the Joint Trade Union Alliance hold their May Day rally in Slave Island. Subsequently, representatives climbed atop a lorry and addressed the gathering. The group held their May Day rally at the Slave Island Junction, following which they dispersed.
The 123rd birth anniversary of the late A.E. Gunasinghe, considered as the father of the labour movement in Sri Lanka, was marked today. The event to commemorate the late leader took place at the Gunasinghe statue in Petta. A.E. Gunasinghe, the pioneer of the struggle of the Sri Lanka working class, conducted Sri Lanka's first May Day rally in 1933 and was a former mayor of Colombo.
Gunasinghe was also the founder of the Ceylon Labour Party, Sri Lanka's first labour organisation, and was also a minister in Sri Lanka's first ever parliamentary assembly. The commemorative event took place under the auspices of former Minister Karunasena Kodithuwaku and was attended by the late A.E. Gunasinghe's daughter and relatives.
අවසනාවකට අද කම්කරු ව්‍යාපාරය දේශපාලන පක්ෂවල
Unfortunately, the labour movement has been grasped by the political parties. Rather than fighting for the needs of the working masses via trade unions, today the leaders of trade unions are operating for the needs of politics. As political parties have grasped the trade unions, there is no talk about the requirements of the farmers and fishermen.
දේශපාලන පක්ෂ වෘත්තීය සමිති ග්‍රහණය කිරීම තුළ ගොවියන්ගේ දීවරයන්ගේ අවශ්‍යතාවයන් ගැන අද කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ.
Now, International Workers' Day is a celebration of labour and the working classes that is prompted by the international labour movement and is marked on the 1st of May every year. 1st of May was chosen as the date for International Workers' Day to commemorate the Haymarket affairs in Chicago that took place in 1884. The Newsfirst takes a look at the history of May Day. Workers gathered in Chicago in the USA on the 1st of May 1886, requesting their work shift be limited to 8 hours a day, thus marking a memorable day in world history. More than 1,000 workers initially engaged in the protest, but as it progressed into its third day, the number of protesters grew to over 65,000. The 3rd of May 1886 was to be the most decisive day of the protest. Following influence from employers, armed policemen opened fire on protesters, claiming the lives of 4 workers. Workers once again gathered at the Haymarket Square, reacting angrily to the attack carried out the previous day. Augustus Spice, Albert Pardons, Adolph Fisher, George Engels, Samuel Fielding, Louis Lang, Michael Stavak and Oscar Nibe, who led the demonstration, were taken into custody. Oscar Nibe was sentenced to 15 years in prison, while Samuel Fielding and Michael Stavak were sentenced to life in prison. The other 5 labour leaders were sentenced to death. The International Labour Organization, which convened in 1889, decided to commemorate their comrades who sacrificed their lives in the struggle to obtain an 8-hour work shift. Accordingly, May 1st was announced as the International Workers' Day, or commonly known as May Day, dedicated to observing the rights and privileges of the working class.
Persons from different parts of the country showed a keen interest in taking part in the May Day celebrations today. Let's have a look at footage recorded by cameras in several areas.
And up next is the newspaper cartoon of the day.
In more local news, the Government Midwifery Service Association charges that a midwife attached to the Kurunegala Teaching Hospital was assaulted last night by a group of nurses also attached to the hospital. The midwife alleged to have been assaulted is receiving treatment at Ward 5 of the hospital.
The trade union action launched by the nurses at the Kurunegala Teaching Hospital continued today as well. The nurses are accused of assaulting a midwife attached to the hospital last night.
A midwife had been assaulted and is in serious condition. She is receiving treatment at the hospital. We condemn this act that created fear amongst the mothers receiving treatment at the hospital. If a government employee is being attacked in this manner, the Government Midwifery Service Association is of the view that the perpetrators must be arrested.
The nurses at the Kurunegala Teaching Hospital have not assaulted any midwife. The nurses will in no way interfere with the duties of the midwives. Until yesterday, a group had attempted to storm the labour rooms in an illegal manner. If the director of the hospital admits that the group entered legitimately, we will not interfere. The Newsfirst correspondent who visited the Kurunegala Teaching Hospital this morning to cover the trade union action was obstructed from carrying out his duties by the nurses.
The honest truth is that my children too are working here. Their monthly pay needs to be taken away. We cannot get medicine. The cupboards have been locked. The doctors come here to give us the medicine. We need to tend to the patients, push the trolley and provide the injections as well.
On Tuesday, doctors at the Kalutara General Hospital refrained from carrying out their duties in a mark of protest against the entry of a group of nursing students to the obstetrics and gynecology ward of the hospital. Meanwhile, the nursing staff of the Kalutara General Hospital refrained from carrying out their duties today and staged a demonstration opposite the hospital. Midwives who have no proper training are carrying out their duties. At a time when the ministry has granted permission to provide labour room training to the nursing students, they are not allowing the students to enter.
Several acres of paddy fields in Adalat, Chennai and Ampara that were cultivated for the Yala season have been destroyed with excess water being supplied to the area. The farmers charge that the irrigation authorities have released water to their lands without informing them. Farmers in the area were engaged in building walls of sandbags to prevent water from entering their farmlands. They also use motors to pump out the existing water. The irrigation authorities had informed the farmers that water is being released to 45% of lands in the Ampara district for the Yala season. The farmers stated that due to this, the amount of paddy produced in the district has seen a 50% reduction. The farmers alleged that half the paddy has been destroyed due to the excess amount of water that was released to the fields.
The Disaster Management Centre says that the landslide warning issued for the Kandy, Matale, Badula and Kegol districts will remain in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow.
The crossway bridge located along the Putlam Mana Road via Eluvankulama was under 2 feet of water today. Meanwhile, when Newsfirst contacted the Department of Meteorology with regard to the prevailing weather conditions, it stated that rainfall of 100 millimeters can be expected in certain parts of the island today. The Met Department also stated that showers or thunder showers can be experienced in several areas during the afternoon and night. The NBRO meanwhile warned that if rain continues in the next 24 hours, to be on alert of possible landslides in Kegol, Matale, Kandy and Ratnapura.
The Newsfirst team have been keeping you up to date on the weather forecast during the past couple of days because of the incessant rains that have been forecast for several parts of the island. Here's a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Newsfirst, English news, now on Dialogue TV, channel number 9. You could catch our primetime breakfast news at 7 a.m, lunchtime news at 12:30 p.m, and our flagship news bulletin at 9 p.m. You could also keep yourself up to date with Live at 55s and Newsfirst Plus every half an hour from 8:30 to 5:30 in the evening. Newsfirst, Sri Lanka's only international news brand.
Meanwhile, the Around the World team departed for New Delhi in India today. The delegation, which consists of members of Newsfirst and Sri Lanka Youth, are due to attend a number of events to promote the World Conference on Youth. Newsfirst Ramesh Bandara reports.
Around the World in 40 days.
Before departing from Moscow, the Around the World team visited the tomb of the unknown soldier. The tomb, located at the Kremlin Wall in the Alexander Garden, is a war memorial dedicated to the Soviet soldiers killed during World War II. Built in 1966, the tomb also boasts of an eternal flame which emanates from a 5-pointed star. 2 guards are stationed at the tomb at all times. These soldiers rotate once every hour. The team was also able to take in the sights and sounds of the Alexander Garden before departing for the Domodedovo International Airport. Ramesh Bandara from Moscow, Russia.
On to news from the state of the economy. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka says that the inflation rate, as measured by the change in the Colombo Consumers Price Index, increased by 0.3% on a year-on-year basis in April 2014. Inflation on a year-on-year basis increased to 4.9% in April 2014 from 4.2% in the previous month, mainly on account of the base effect and increased prices of several food items. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka notes the prices of items in the food and non-alcoholic beverages category, which increased by 0.7% in April 2014 compared to the previous month, was the main contributor towards the 0.3% monthly increase in the CCPI. Within the food category, price increases were recorded in many varieties of rice and vegetables, some varieties of dried fish, potatoes, red onion, green chilies and sugar. Nevertheless, the CBSL points out that on an annual average basis, inflation decelerated further to 5.6% in April 2014 from 5.7% in March.
Police in India have opened an investigation against Indian Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi after he flashed his party's symbol and made a speech in violation of elections rules after he cast his ballot. Meanwhile, police in Almora city in India's northern state of Uttarakhand beefed up security and deployed additional forces after some Maoist forces pasted posters on walls threatening people to boycott ongoing parliamentary polls.
The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Anand Ram Chauhan, said that a case has been registered against unknown persons for putting up posters and added that the police are on a lookout for the people involved.
Yes, Maoist forces are involved in this with the intention of disturbing the polls. We are confident that their plans will not work. Our intelligence forces are also working, and we have also planned to put some ambush forces. Some have already been posted to guard the place and catch hold of people involved in this.
और कुछ लगा भी दिए हैं कहीं जगह पे।
The police further added that they are trying to ascertain the identity of the persons who made the posters, both printed and handwritten. The messages written on posters called for a change in the system, mocked the democracy and called for a revolution. As Uttarakhand will go to polls in the 8th phase on the 7th of May, hectic campaigning is currently underway in the parliamentary constituencies, but the threat by Maoists through posters has set alarm bells ringing among the leaders. The police assured special vigil in some areas of the province and along the Indo-Nepal border where Maoist activities were reported earlier.
Still in news from India, 2 explosions ripped through a passenger train in the southern Indian city of Chennai, killing a 22-year-old female passenger. The blasts occurred in 2 coaches just as the train was approaching the city's central station. A total of 9 people were injured, 2 of them seriously, in addition to the dead passenger. Director General of Police K. Ramanujam said that around 10 people were hurt in the explosion. Explosions took place around 7:30 a.m. in 2 coaches of the Guwahati to Bangalore Express. The low-intensity explosions took place under passenger seats minutes after the express train had arrived at the station. Police personnel cordoned off the platform and experts were called in to collect the samples of debris from the train.
Now in sports news, ICC World T20 champion Sri Lanka have dropped to 2nd place in the ICC cricket rankings. Australia has reclaimed the #1 test ranking and has also retained its top ODI spot in the ICC team rankings in the May 1st annual update. Now Sri Lanka have also dropped down to 7th place in the ICC test rankings from 6th place, while Australia surpassed South Africa to reach the top. However, Sri Lanka has managed to retain its 3rd place in the ICC ODI rankings. Now this is the first time since December 2008 that Australia has been ranked #1 in both tests and ODIs at the same time.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Mahina Bonzo.
And I'm Shan Jurangpati. Good night and take care.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.